Welcome once again to Dreams of Gravity, this ever-deepening haven where the cosmos's gentle revelations continue to unfold like layers of mist, parting under a soft, eternal glow. Each extension drawing you further into a realm of tranquil wonder, where the stars' quiet wisdom becomes a lullaby for the wandering mind. As you prepare for this latest immersion, let go of the world's fleeting edges entirely. Perhaps feel the subtle rise and fall of your chest, aligning with the imagined swell of interstellar winds. Allow any stray thoughts to dissipate like vapor in the cool night air, and open yourself to the universe's vast, nurturing flow, merging your essence with its timeless serenity. The veil of evening thickens invitingly, so step through without hesitation, and let these new horizons of contemplation wrap you in a soothing, boundless repose. The secret of the universe's existence. These four forces sustain its being. Imagine the universe as a vast, breathing ocean where every wave is a story of creation and every current carries the essence of existence itself. In this boundless sea, four fundamental forces hold everything together, like invisible threads weaving the fabric of reality. They are the quiet architects of stars, planets, and the very air we breathe. Gravity, electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. Tonight, as we journey through galaxies and nebulae, we'll explore how these forces sustain the universe's being, revealing the secret of why it all endures. Let this knowledge flow over you like a soft tide, easing your mind into rest. We begin with gravity, the gentle pull that cradles us all. Picture gravity not as a heavy weight, but as the warm embrace of an old friend, drawing distant wanderers into harmonious dances. It is the force that shapes the grandest structures of the cosmos. Long ago, in the fiery dawn of the Big Bang, gravity emerged from the chaos, coaxing clouds of gas and dust to gather and form the first stars. These stars, born from swirling nurseries in space, ignite with light that travels across eons to reach our eyes. Think of our own Milky Way galaxy, a spiral of hundreds of billions of stars held in a delicate balance by gravity's touch. At its heart lies a supermassive black hole, Sagittarius A, a silent guardian with the mass of 4 million suns. Gravity there is so profound that it bends light itself, creating a horizon beyond which nothing escapes, not even time as we know it. Yet this force is merciful in its vastness. It keeps planets orbiting their suns, like leaves caught in a serene river's flow. Earth, our blue marble, rides this gravitational wave, tilted just so to gift us seasons of renewal. As you breathe in and out, feel gravity anchoring you to this moment, mirroring how it binds the universe in eternal poise. Without it, stars would scatter like forgotten dreams, and galaxies would unravel into the void. But gravity persists, a poetic reminder that connection sustains us all. Delve deeper into its reach, and you'll find it whispering through the spaces between atoms, a subtle curvature in the fabric of space-time that Einstein so elegantly described. On scales both immense and intimate, it governs the fall of an apple from a tree, just as it orchestrates the slow merger of galaxy clusters billions of light-years away. In the Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest cosmic neighbor, gravity tugs insistently, promising a collision in about 4 billion years. Not a catastrophe, but a gentle blending of lights, where stars pass like ships in the night, their paths rarely crossing yet, forever altered by the pull. This force also cradles the voids between galaxies, those immense emptinesses that make up most of the universe's volume, stretching like the pauses in a deep, meditative breath. Dark matter, that mysterious ally, amplifies gravity's hold, forming invisible halos around galaxies that prevent them from flying apart. Without this unseen support, the cosmic web, those vast filaments of matter threading through space, would dissolve, leaving only scattered remnants. Instead, gravity weaves endurance, much like the way a quiet evening anchors the day's end, inviting reflection before sleep overtakes us. Consider the rogue planets, wanderers ejected from their solar systems, drifting alone, yet still feeling gravity's distant call, pulled toward new homes in the interstellar chill. In this way, gravity teaches patience, a slow sculpting that turns chaos into constellations, ensuring the universe's story unfolds without haste. Extend your gaze to the Virgo cluster, a gathering of over 1,000 galaxies bound by mutual attraction, where gravitational lensing warps the light of background objects into arcs and rings, like a cosmic lens magnifying distant whispers. Here, the force reveals its artistry, bending reality to unveil hidden realms, much as a calm lake reflects the stars above, offering glimpses of infinity in a single, still surface. On Earth, this same pull shapes tides that rise and fall with the moon's rhythm, a subtle cadence that lulls coastal nights into peace, reminding us how gravity's touch fosters cycles of ebb and flow, essential to life's quiet persistence. Farther out, in the realm of dwarf galaxies like the Magellanic Clouds, companions to our Milky Way, gravity's tidal forces stretch their forms into irregular bridges of gas and stars, sparking bursts of star formation along the edges, a creative tension that enriches the interstellar medium with fresh elements. These interactions highlight gravity's role as a cosmic gardener, pruning and nurturing growth, akin to how a gentle rain coaxes hidden buds from winter's grasp, promising renewal in the hush of approaching dusk. In binary star systems, like those elegant pairs waltzing in mutual orbit, gravity synchronizes their steps, sometimes leading to mass transfer where one star swells and shares its envelope, birthing nova flares that briefly outshine their host galaxy, a fleeting poetry of exchange that underscores the force's capacity for both separation and union. Much like the way long-held relationships evolve through quiet accommodations, deepening bonds over time. Gravitational instabilities in protoplanetary disks, those flattened clouds around young stars, cause matter to clump into planetesimals, the seeds of planets, a process where the force's gentle perturbations ripple through dust like whispers in a quiet room, gradually building complexity from simplicity. In the large Magellanic Cloud's Tarantula Nebula, gravity funnels gas into dense cores, igniting massive stars whose radiation later carves away the surrounding envelope, leaving sculpted pillars that stand as testaments to this balanced artistry, evoking the way a skilled sculptor chisels marble, revealing form through patient subtraction, a metaphor for how life's challenges refine our essence, leading to a more harmonious self amid the night's serene progression. Triple star systems, such as Alpha Centauri, with its hierarchical orbits, demonstrate gravity's precision in maintaining long-term stability, where outer companions influence the inner pair's gentle sway, fostering environments where planets might thrive in tempered light, a layered choreography that suggests the universe favors intricate balances, much like the subtle adjustments in a well-tended garden, where each plant's growth supports the whole, cultivating a tranquil ecosystem that mirrors the mind's quest for inner equilibrium as evening unfolds. In galaxy harassment events, where dwarf galaxies graze larger ones, gravity strips gas tails that ignite starbursts, a disruptive yet generative encounter that populates the outskirts with new lights. Philosophical in its illustration of how friction can spark creation, akin to the quiet conflicts in personal narratives that lead to growth, ultimately settling into wiser repose under the starlit canopy. Stream interactions, like the Gaia sausage from a past merger with the Milky Way, infuse the halo with globular clusters and dark matter subhalos. Gravity redistributing these remnants into elongated orbits, a historical layering that enriches the galaxy's structure, much like ancestral stories embedded in family lore, providing depth to identity without overwhelming the present. A subtle heritage that invites contemplative gratitude as the day fades into restorative night. Quadruple systems, rare yet stable configurations like New Scorpii, showcase gravity's masterful orchestration in confining multiple stars to shared paths, their interactions fostering eccentric dances that could seed diverse planetary systems. A complex kinship that evokes the multifaceted bonds in extended families, where individual orbits harmonize into a collective grace, nurturing a sense of profound, interconnected serenity as twilight deepens. Hierarchical sextuple systems, such as ASS J0523, balance inner binaries with distant companions through finely tuned gravitational resonances, allowing long-term coexistence in a crowded stellar neighborhood, a delicate equilibrium that philosophizes on the art of accommodation in dense social webs, where proximity demands mutual respect, ultimately yielding a harmonious, expansive tranquility akin to a gathering of old friends under a shared evening sky. Lenticular galaxies, like NGC 58666, maintain disk structures through gravity's stabilizing embrace on aged stellar populations, their dust lanes threading electromagnetic signatures of past mergers, a mature poise that reflects the strong forces enduring elemental mixes, evoking the settled wisdom of later life stages, where accumulated experiences foster a quiet, reflective depth, much like the calm of a library at closing time. Shelves heavy with unspoken stories, inviting unhurried exploration. Irregular galaxies, such as the small Magellanic Cloud, twist under gravity's uneven tugs from interactions with larger neighbors, their star-forming regions pulsing with fresh bursts that blend old and new elements via nuclear legacies. A free-form evolution that suggests the universe appreciates improvisation, much like how personal paths meander through unexpected turns, each detour enriching the journey with unexpected grace and leading to a more nuanced, peaceful self-understanding in the quiet of reflection. Barred spiral galaxies, like NGC 1300, channel gas flows along their central bars under gravity's directive, funneling material to ignite ring-like star formation zones, a structured chaos that evokes the way daily routines guide creative impulses toward productive outlets, fostering a balanced rhythm in the flow of existence that soothes like a familiar melody winding down into silence. Elliptical galaxies, such as M87, with its prominent jet, evolve through mergers where gravity merges disparate components into smooth envelopes, their old stellar populations sustained by lingering nuclear stabilities, a consolidated maturity that philosophizes on integration's rewards, akin to how blended experiences in life forge a cohesive identity, offering stability amid the cosmos's vast, contemplative expanse. Ultra-diffuse galaxies, faint and extended like NGC 1052 DF2, hold minimal dark matter yet persist under gravity's light touch, their sparse stars drifting in loose harmony, a minimalist endurance that mirrors lives lived simply, where few elements suffice for profound contentment, inviting a meditative appreciation for subtlety as night deepens its hold. Starburst galaxies, such as M82, erupt in fervent creation, triggered by gravitational encounters, channeling gas into dense knots where nuclear forces fuel rapid stellar births, a temporary blaze that enriches the interstellar canvas, much like periods of intense personal focus that yield lasting insights, their energy resolving into quieter, more reflective phases under the starry veil. From the pull of the large, we turn to the spark of the small, electromagnetism, the force that paints the cosmos with color and life. Envision it as the breath of light, carrying warmth from the sun to every leaf and skin. This force governs the dance of electrons, the tiny particles that whirl around atoms like fireflies in a summer night. It is electromagnetism that allows light to journey from distant quasars, bending through space to illuminate our world. Consider the stars. Within their cores, nuclear reactions fuse hydrogen into helium, releasing energy that electromagnetism channels outward as radiant light and heat. Our sun, a modest star among trillions, bathes Earth in this glow, driving the winds, fueling oceans, and nurturing the web of life. Without electromagnetism, there would be no chemistry, no bonds between atoms to form water, air, or the very cells that make you. It is the artist of matter, sketching rainbows in nebulae and the auroras that dance at Earth's poles. In the quiet of space, electromagnetic waves whisper across voids, connecting far-flung worlds. Radio signals from ancient telescopes reach us, echoes of humanity's curiosity, carried on these invisible currents. As your thoughts drift like these waves, let electromagnetism remind you of the subtle energies that link all things, a soft hum beneath the silence of sleep. Extend this vision to the plasma that fills the universe, hot, ionized gas where electromagnetism reigns supreme, shaping solar flares that arc like fiery sighs from the sun's surface. These bursts, driven by twisted magnetic fields, send charged particles racing toward Earth, where they collide with our atmosphere to create the shimmering northern lights, a celestial ballet visible on clear winter nights. On planetary scales, electromagnetism stirs the storms of gas giants like Saturn, its rings aglow with icy particles reflecting sunlight, while lightning cracks through methane clouds, echoing the force's restless creativity. Even in the calm of a nebula's heart, like the glowing horsehead in Orion, electromagnetic interactions ionize gases, turning dull dust into vibrant hues of red and blue, as if the universe were painting its dreams across the void. This force binds molecules in the comets that streak through our solar system, their tails streaming like ethereal veils under solar wind's push, delivering water and organics to young worlds. In everyday moments, it mirrors the warmth of sunlight on your skin after a long day, a gentle reminder that connection through light fosters growth, much like how shared stories draw people closer in the hush before bedtime. Delve into its spectrum, and you'll appreciate how visible light is but a sliver. Infrared warms the dust in protoplanetary disks around newborn stars, like the one encircling Beta Pictoris, where rocky planetesimals coalesce under magnetic guidance, hinting at worlds forming in shadowed nurseries. Ultraviolet rays from hot O-type stars sterilize nearby space, carving bubbles in molecular clouds that propel expansion. while radio emissions from pulsars, rotating neutron stars, pulse with precision, their signals modulated by electromagnetic fields strong enough to accelerate particles to near-light speeds. This versatility evokes the way a single conversation can span whispers of intimacy to bursts of laughter, all carried on the air's unseen vibrations, binding experiences in a tapestry of shared warmth. In the ionosphere, high above us, electromagnetic forces trap charged particles in Van Allen belts, a protective cocoon that shields life from cosmic onslaughts, much like the quiet assurance of a familiar melody easing the mind into repose. Magnetars, neutron stars with magnetic fields 1,000,000,000,000 times stronger than Earth's, twist space-time with their pull, flaring sporadically as crust cracks release stored energy, their gamma-ray bursts piercing the galaxy like sudden insights in a contemplative night. These extreme expressions remind us of electromagnetism's dual nature, nurturing in moderation, yet capable of profound displays, similar to how a soft glow from a bedside lamp comforts without overwhelming, guiding the transition to dreams where colors blend in boundless imagination. Coronal mass ejections from the sun, vast bubbles of plasma propelled by magnetic reconnection, sculpt the heliosphere into a dynamic shield, their interactions with planetary magnetospheres sparking geomagnetic storms that ripple through technology. A reminder of the force's pervasive reach, akin to how emotional undercurrents influence daily moods, subtly shaping the landscape of our inner worlds as we settle into evening's calm. In the Crab pulsar's wind, nebula, synchrotron radiation from electrons spiraling in magnetic fields creates a ghostly glow, a persistent echo of the 1054 supernova, where electromagnetism sustains visibility long after the event, much like cherished memories that illuminate quiet reflections, providing continuity in the flow toward restful surrender. Faraday rotation, where polarized light twists through magnetized plasma, reveals magnetic structures in distant jets, a helical dance that maps unseen fields, much like the way a storyteller's voice inflects to convey hidden depths, enriching the narrative with layers of nuance that draw listeners deeper into empathetic resonance, fostering a sense of connected tranquility as the tale progresses into night's embrace. In planetary nebulae like the Cat's Eye, intricate rings and arcs form from ejected shells interacting with central magnetic fields, electromagnetism shaping the outflow into symmetric beauties, a final artistic flourish from a star's life, evoking the way life's culminations often manifest in elegant closures, their patterns a soothing testament to ordered beauty amid dissolution. Zeeman splitting, where magnetic fields split atomic spectral lines, allows astronomers to measure field strengths in sunspots or molecular clouds, a fine-tuned signature that unveils the force's subtle grip on matter, much like the delicate inflections in a whispered conversation that reveal unspoken affections, building intimacy in the quiet exchanges that precede sleep's gentle arrival. Alphen waves, oscillations in magnetized plasma that propagate along field lines, regulate energy transport in stellar atmospheres, from the sun's corona to accretion disks around black holes, a resonant vibration that maintains equilibrium, philosophical in its depiction of how internal harmonies sustain outer expressions, akin to the subtle rhythms of breathing that anchor the body during moments of stillness, promoting a deep, rhythmic calm that ushers in untroubled dreams. Magneto-hydrodynamic instabilities, like the kink mode in solar prominences, twist magnetic flux tubes, into dynamic loops, releasing stored energy in gradual ejections that shape coronal structures, a controlled release that mirrors the way pent-up thoughts surface softly in evening reflections, diffusing tension to restore inner balance, much like a stream finding its way around boulders, carving serene paths through persistent flow. Dynamo processes in planetary cores, where convective motions in molten iron generate self-sustaining magnetic fields, shield atmospheres from stellar erosion, as seen in Venus's induced magnetosphere or Mercury's weak but persistent one, a protective weave that philosophizes on the inner fires fueling outer resilience, akin to how personal convictions arise from deep-seated passions, sustaining one's course through life's tempests with quiet, unyielding poise. Parker spirals in the solar wind, where the sun's rotation winds magnetic field lines into an Archimedean pattern, guide charged particles outward in a helical flow, influencing heliospheric boundaries and cosmic ray modulation, a graceful twist that evokes the way habits spiral from daily choices, forming protective routines that nurture long-term well-being in the unhurried pace of existence. Bow shocks around young stars like T Tauri, where stellar winds collide with ambient medium, form curved electromagnetic barriers that heat gas into glowing arcs, gravity anchoring the interaction site, a dynamic frontier that suggests protective shells in life's transitions, much like emotional boundaries that soften external pressures, allowing inner growth to flourish in sheltered calm. Reconnection events in magnetotails of planets like Jupiter, where oppositely directed fields snap and reform, accelerate particles into auroral displays, a reconfiguration that mirrors moments of personal realignment, where clashing ideas merge to spark fresh clarity, guiding toward a more integrated, peaceful state as repose approaches. Cyclotron radiation from charged particles gyrating in stellar magnetic fields, such as in white dwarf companions, emits in discrete harmonics that reveal field geometries, a resonant signature that philosophizes on how individual paths in a collective field contribute to harmonic wholes, akin to voices in a quiet chorus, blending seamlessly, enriching the shared silence with subtle depth. Magnetically confined plasmas in accretion flows around intermediate mass black holes, channeling energy into collimated outflows, sustain quasar-like luminosities without overwhelming the host galaxy. A balanced channeling that evokes the way focused intentions direct life's energies toward meaningful pursuits, yielding sustainable fulfillment in the gentle progression of days and nights. Interstellar magnetic fields, threading the galaxy's disk like faint cosmic veins, influence dust alignment and polarization of starlight. Electromagnetism imprinting directional preferences on grains, a pervasive guidance that underscores the universe's subtle order, much like ingrained preferences shaping daily choices, weaving consistency into the fabric of routine without rigid constraint, fostering a serene adaptability as twilight yields to full darkness. Deeper still, into the heart of atoms, lies the strong nuclear force, the unyielding glue that binds protons and neutrons within every nucleus. Imagine it as the deep, steady rhythm of a heartbeat, holding the building blocks of reality together against the chaos that would tear them apart. Protons, with their positive charge, naturally repel one another like magnets pushing away. Yet the strong force steps in, a short-range embrace so powerful it overcomes this repulsion, forging stable nuclei from fleeting particles. This force powers the star's furnaces, In the Sun's core, under immense pressure, hydrogen nuclei smash together, held by the strong force to create helium and unleash the energy that sustains life. It is this alchemy that fills the universe with elements: carbon for our bones, oxygen for our breath, iron in our blood. Nebulae, those ethereal clouds of gas, are cradles where the strong force's legacy scatters stardust, seeding new worlds. Picture the Orion Nebula, a stellar nursery 300 light-years away, where young stars emerge from cocoons of hydrogen. Here, the strong force ensures that matter coheres, birthing protostars that will one day shine. Without it, atoms would dissolve, and the universe would be a sparse fog of unbound particles. Instead, it offers stability, a philosophical anchor in the flux of existence, like the steady pulse of your own restful breath, binding the night to the dawn. Venture further into its domain, and you'll see how this force operates through gluons, those mediator particles exchanged between quarks, the even tinier constituents of protons and neutrons, locking them in a confinement so tight that attempting to pull them apart only strengthens the bond, like trying to unravel a tightly woven dream. In the formation of heavy elements during a star's red giant phase, the strong force facilitates the slow buildup of iron in the core, a pinnacle of stability before the inevitable collapse. When that star goes supernova, the explosive release scatters these forged treasures: silicon for Earth's crust, gold in distant asteroids, across the galaxy, enriching the interstellar medium for future generations of stars and planets. Think of the Sombrero Galaxy, its disk rimmed with young blue stars, where the strong force's handiwork ensures the cycle continues, turning stellar deaths into births. On a human scale, this mirrors the resilience found in quiet routines, like the way a family's shared meals build lasting ties, or how the Earth's core, heated by lingering radioactive decays tied to nuclear bindings, generates the magnetic field that shields us from solar storms. Thus, the strong force embodies quiet strength, a foundational rhythm that underpins the universe's persistent harmony, inviting us to find our own inner steadiness as we drift towards sleep. Explore its role in the early universe, mere moments after the Big Bang, when quark-gluon plasma, a soup of free particles, cooled under expanding conditions, allowing the strong force to bind quarks into hadrons, the protons and neutrons that would later form all matter. This primordial binding set the stage for light elements like helium to emerge in Big Bang nucleosynthesis, a brief epoch where temperatures dropped just enough for nuclei to hold, without which stars might never have kindled. In modern colliders like the Large Hadron Collider, scientists recreate these conditions, smashing particles to glimpse the strong force's raw power, revealing Higgs bosons that grant mass to other carriers, a subtle layer adding depth to atomic stability. Analogous to the way roots entwine beneath soil, unseen yet vital for a tree's upright grace. This force ensures that from the subatomic to the stellar, cohesion prevails, a silent vow of endurance that soothes like the even cadence of waves lapping a distant shore. Hyperons, exotic particles with strange quarks, stabilized briefly by the strong force in dense neutron star interiors, hint at stranger chemistries under extreme pressure, where nuclei swell and interact in novel ways, potentially influencing the star's equation of state and preventing total collapse. These hidden dynamics evoke the unspoken foundations of daily life, like the quiet habits that sustain well-being, allowing surface calm to flourish amid underlying complexity, a gentle assurance as the mind unwinds into night's embrace. In asymptotic freedom, the strong force weakens at short distances within hadrons, allowing quarks to move freely inside, only to intensify as separation grows. A paradoxical balance that mirrors how close relationships thrive on space for individuality, yet draw tighter in times of need, fostering a resilient unity that underpins personal equilibrium, much like the steady foundation that supports a house through changing seasons, inviting repose in its reliable shelter. Charmed quarks, heavier relatives, form short-lived particles in high-energy cosmic rays, where the strong force binds them fleetingly before decay, contributing to the shower of secondary particles that reach Earth's surface, a cascade that enriches atmospheric chemistry, philosophical in suggesting that even transient bindings leave lasting imprints, akin to brief encounters that subtly alter one's path, weaving subtle threads of influence into the fabric of experience as we approach the quiet sanctuary of sleep. Bottom quarks, even heavier, appear in upsilon mesons produced in accelerators, their decays probing the strong force's color-charge dynamics, a deeper probe into quantum chromodynamics that illuminates confinement's mysteries. Much like delving into one's subconscious reveals hidden motivations shaping surface calm, an introspective journey that promotes balanced self-awareness in the lead-up to tranquil repose. Top quarks, the heaviest of all, decay almost instantly after formation in colliders, their brief existence allowing glimpses of the strong force at highest energies, where virtual gluon exchanges hint at unification with other forces. A fleeting revelation that philosophizes on the ephemeral nature of peaks in life's journey, where summits offer profound vistas before descending into valleys of integration, ultimately leading to a more cohesive, restful whole. Strange-late hypotheses, exotic matter clumps of up, down, and strange quarks held by the strong force in ultra-dense environments, could stabilize neutron star cores against further collapse, suggesting alternate states of matter that challenge conventional physics, a speculative depth that evokes the unexplored facets of personal resilience, where hidden strengths emerge under pressure, fostering a grounded, introspective calm as the evening's quiet envelops all. Pentaquark states, composite particles with 4 quarks and a gluon bound by the strong force, observed in collider experiments, reveal intricate color configurations that add layers to hadron spectroscopy, a nuanced architecture that mirrors the complex interdependencies in ecosystems, where individual roles harmonize to sustain the whole, much like the subtle alliances in friendships that weather time's passage, providing enduring support in the serene flow of existence. Baryon decouplets, like the delta resonances with 3 up or down quarks, decay rapidly under strong force mediation, their short-lived vibrations contributing to the sea of virtual particles in nuclear interiors. A fleeting harmony that underscores the force's role in maintaining atomic integrity, akin to the brief harmonies in a symphony that support the overarching melody, enriching the composition without dominating, guiding the listener toward a deeper contemplative appreciation as the music fades into silence. Glue ball candidates, hypothetical mesons composed purely of gluons bound by self-interactions, might manifest in high-energy collisions as resonances, probing the strong force's non-abelian nature where gluons carry color charge, a pure essence of binding that philosophizes on unity from within. Much like inner convictions that hold personal resolve together without external props, fostering a self-sustained tranquility that deepens with introspective solitude. Color glass condensate states in heavy ion collisions recreate early universe conditions where the strong force saturates quark densities, leading to coherent gluon fields that evolve into quark-gluon plasma. A saturated harmony that evokes the way crowded thoughts in a busy mind condense into focused clarity upon reflection. A transformative density yielding smoother, more unified mental flows as rest beckons. Hybrid mesons, with excited gluonic fields alongside quark-antiquark pairs, exhibit exotic quantum numbers under strong force dynamics. Observed in charmonium decays, a vibrational complexity that suggests the universe's fondness for layered expressions, akin to how personal identities layer core traits with acquired nuances, creating richer tapestries of self that invite gentle exploration in the hush of evening contemplation. Omega baryons, with strange up and down quarks in symmetric spin configurations, probe isospin symmetries in strong interactions, their decays revealing flavor SU3 patterns, a balanced triad that mirrors triangular supports in architecture or relationships, where equilibrium arises from diverse yet cohesive elements, promoting stability that soothes like a well-composed landscape viewed from afar. Debaryon resonances, short-lived bound states of two baryons under strong force attraction, hint at deuteron-like clusters in dense matter, potentially stabilizing neutron star crusts, a paired resilience that philosophizes on companionship's quiet strength. Much like lifelong partnerships that endure through subtle mutual reinforcement, weaving enduring peace into the fabric of shared nights. Chiral symmetry breaking, where the strong force generates quark masses from vacuum condensates, underpins Parn masses and nuclear forces, a spontaneous order from disorder that evokes the emergence of habits from unstructured days, a foundational shift that builds reliable patterns, guiding toward a harmonious, unhurried existence as sleep's gentle tide rises. By the way, I wonder, where are you watching from tonight? Which city and what time of day is it for you right now? Wherever you are, let that place become part of this cosmic tapestry, a quiet point in the infinite. Now, we approach the subtle shaper, the weak nuclear force, which governs change and transformation on the smallest scales. See it as the soft sigh of evolution, allowing the universe to renew itself through delicate decays and shifts. Unlike its stronger siblings, this force operates over even tinier distances, influencing how unstable particles transmute into stable ones, releasing energy in the process. In the hearts of stars, the weak force plays a starring role in fusion, enabling protons to swap identities and form neutrons, paving the way for heavier elements. It is responsible for the beta decay seen in radioactive materials, a gentle unraveling that powers phenomena like the heat from Earth's core driven by uranium's slow transformation. This force whispers of impermanence, reminding us that even the mightiest stars must one day yield to change, exploding as supernovae to scatter their enriched gifts across space. Consider the Crab Nebula, remnant of a supernova observed in 1054 AD, where the weak force orchestrated the star's final act, forging gold, silver, and uranium in its explosive breath. These elements rained down, weaving into planets and life. The weak force ensures the universe doesn't stagnate. It drives the flow of time, like a river carving paths through stone, turning endings into beginnings. In its quiet way, it mirrors the cycles of sleep and waking, where rest leads to renewal. probe its mechanisms further, and you'll encounter neutrinos, elusive ghosts produced in weak interactions, streaming through matter without a trace, born in the sun's core and passing through your body by the trillions every second. These nearly massless particles carry away energy from fusion, balancing the star's output, and in supernova, their flood signals the core's collapse, a pivotal moment where the weak force tips the scales toward explosion. On Earth, this force underpins carbon dating, as isotopes like carbon-14 decay via weak processes, allowing us to trace ancient histories etched in bone and wood. In the vast reaches, it influences neutron stars, those dense remnants where crushed matter pulses with weak-driven emissions, their surfaces occasionally flaring as they accrete material from companions. The Vela pulsar, spinning 11 times a second, exemplifies this, its beams sweeping like a lighthouse in the cosmic fog, powered by the ongoing transformations deep within. Philosophically, the weak force invites contemplation of flux, much like the way seasons shift without fanfare, leaves falling to nourish the soil for spring's return, or how a single deep breath before sleep releases the day's tensions, paving the way for dreams. It ensures the universe evolves, not in violent upheaval, but through tender adjustments, a gentle current in the ocean of time that keeps existence fresh and alive. Consider its parity-violating nature, a handedness in particle decays that breaks symmetry, much like how a spiral staircase winds in one direction, influencing everything from the dominance of matter over antimatter in the early cosmos to the subtle biases in stellar nucleosynthesis. In the Sun's proton-proton chain, the weak force mediates the rare transformation that initiates fusion, a probabilistic whisper that, over billions of years, accumulates to power the star's steady glow, without which our daylight would fade into eternal chill. Neutrino observatories like IceCube, buried in Antarctic ice, capture these solar spirits, confirming the weak force's predictions and revealing solar oscillations, ripples on the sun's surface that probe its interior like gentle taps on a drum. This force's role in atmospheric neutrinos, born from cosmic ray showers, adds layers to our understanding of high-energy events, where weak decays shower Earth with particles, a cosmic rain that falls unseen yet shapes our detectors' tails. In its essence, it embodies adaptability, akin to the way old memories soften and reform in dreams, allowing the past to inform the future without rigid hold, a philosophical nudge toward embracing change as the breath of continuity. Muons, heavier cousins of electrons produced in weak decays high in the atmosphere, rain down constantly, their short lives extended by relativistic effects, enabling experiments that test the force's intricacies, much like fleeting thoughts that linger just long enough to spark inspiration before dissolving into subconscious flow. In our process nucleosynthesis during neutron star mergers, the weak force competes with neutron captures, determining which heavy isotopes form, seeding the galaxy with platinum and europium, elements that sparkle in ancient stars' spectra as echoes of cataclysmic renewal, a reminder that transformation, however subtle, enriches the cosmic palette, fostering diversity in the quiet evolution of matter. Solar neutrinos, oscillating between flavors as they traverse space, reveal the weak force's quantum intricacies, their flavors mixing like ingredients in a subtle recipe, ensuring the sun's output remains consistent, a harmonious blend that sustains distant worlds. This fluidity parallels the way personal growth arises from blended experiences, each shift a soft reconfiguration that builds resilience, much like the gradual adaptation of a riverbed to its flow, carving beauty through persistent, unhurried change, guiding the spirit toward the peaceful depths of slumber. Sterile neutrinos, hypothetical particles that interact only via gravity, might explain dark matter's elusiveness, their weak force absence allowing them to evade detection, a spectral presence that subtly influences cosmic structure, evoking the unseen motivations that drive human endeavors, quiet forces shaping destinies without fanfare, much like the gentle pull of intuition, leading one through life's meanders towards serene havens of understanding and rest. Tau neutrinos, the heaviest flavor, produced in supernova cores, carry immense energies that briefly heat the surrounding matter, facilitating the explosion's propagation, a vital role in stellar rebirth that underscores the force's contribution to renewal, akin to how pivotal moments in life catalyze transformation, their energy dispersing to foster new beginnings in the calm aftermath, a philosophical reflection on how endings propel forward, motion toward balanced equilibrium. Electron capture processes in white dwarf progenitors, where weak force transmutes protons to neutrons under density pressure, trigger type Ia supernova's uniform light curves, calibrating cosmic distances with precision, a stellar clockwork that maps the universe's expansion, much like personal milestones marking time's passage, their regularity a comforting rhythm in the flow of existence, easing the soul into reflective tranquility. Double beta decay, a rare weak process where two neutrons transform simultaneously in certain isotopes, probes neutrino masses and the force's intricacies, observed in experiments like Gerda, a delicate unraveling that hints at matter's deeper symmetries, philosophical in its slow revelation of hidden layers akin to the gradual unveiling of wisdom through patient introspection, where each insight softens the barriers between known and unknown, inviting a profound, harmonious repose as night settles in. Majorana neutrinos, if they exist as their own antiparticles, could explain neutrino-less double beta decay's absence, tying the weak force to profound questions of particle identity, a self-reflective essence that philosophizes on the unity of opposites, much like the way solitude fosters self-understanding, merging inner dualities into a cohesive, tranquil whole that eases the transition to dreamlike introspection. Kabibo Kobayashi Maskawa, matrix elements, governing quark flavor mixing in weak decays, introduce subtle angles that dictate transition probabilities, a mathematical elegance that ensures the slow transmutation of elements in stellar cores, much like the nuanced choices in a lifelong path that guide evolution without haste, fostering a layered maturity that blooms in the quiet acceptance of time's gentle course. Seesaw mechanism extensions, where heavy right-handed neutrinos induce small masses for active ones via weak interactions, explain the observed hierarchy, a leveraged balance that evokes how minor adjustments in daily habits amplify long-term well-being, a subtle amplification that builds resilience quietly, much like roots deepening in fertile soil to support taller growth in unassuming grace. B-meson oscillations, where neutral B particles mix flavors through weak box diagrams, reveal CP violations' subtle asymmetries, a temporal dance that probes the universe's preference for matter, philosophical in suggesting that even in symmetry's apparent reign, gentle biases carve paths for persistence, akin to how slight inclinations in decision-making steer lives toward meaningful trajectories, weaving fate with delicate, reassuring threads. Kaon decays, long studied for weak force manifestations, showcase rare modes suppressed by flavor-changing neutral currents, their observation confirming the standard model's predictions while hinting at new physics. A patient unveiling that mirrors the slow emergence of personal truths from habitual reflections, where rare insights illuminate the ordinary, fostering a deeper, more contemplative harmony as evening's peace descends. Neutrino-less double beta decay searches in isotopes like xenon 136, probing absolute neutrino masses through weak-mediated processes. Push boundaries on lepton number conservation, a quest for violation that philosophizes on the fragility of conserved quantities. Much like how cherished beliefs occasionally yield to new understandings, allowing evolution without shattering the core self, guiding toward a fluid, serene acceptance in the night's enveloping quiet. Weak isospin symmetries, broken by the Higgs mechanism, yet lingering in electro-weak unification, underpin the force's short-range nature at low energies. A remnant harmony that suggests underlying unities waiting to reveal themselves, akin to the latent connections in social networks that surface in times of need, providing unexpected support that nurtures inner calm amid life's subtle shifts. Charged pion decays into muons and neutrinos, a pure weak process, test universality across lepton generations, their branching ratios affirming the force's impartial elegance, a democratic whisper that evokes the equitable flow of shared experiences in communities, where individual contributions blend into collective wisdom, soothing the spirit with a sense of inclusive continuity as repose draws near. Hyperon beta decays, transforming strange to non-strange baryons via weak currents, map flavor-changing dynamics in nuclear matter, a transmutative subtlety that highlights the force's role in elemental diversity, much like how diverse influences in personal development transmute raw potential into refined character, a gradual alchemy that yields balanced poise in the tranquil progression toward sleep. These four forces, intertwined like the roots of an ancient tree, form the secret of the universe's existence. Gravity sculpts the grand architecture. Electromagnetism illuminates and connects. The strong force builds from within, and the weak force allows for graceful evolution. Together, they sustain galaxies, those island universes spiraling through the void, each a testament to balance. Our Milky Way, with its arms of stars trailing like silk in the cosmic wind, hosts about 100 billion suns, orbiting a central bar of light. Beyond it lie Andromeda and countless others, drawn inexorably by gravity toward future mergers, their lights blending in a dance that spans billions of years. Planets, too, owe their forms to these forces. Jupiter's stormy bands powered by electromagnetic turbulence, its rocky cousins held by nuclear stability. Black holes, those enigmatic voids, embody the interplay most profoundly. At their event horizons, gravity dominates, but inside, quantum dances of particles, governed by nuclear forces, hint at hidden realms. Hawking radiation, a faint glow from quantum fluctuations influenced by the weak force, suggests even black holes breathe, slowly evaporating over unimaginable timescales. As we linger on these abyssal wonders, envision the Cygnus X1 system, where a stellar mass black hole devours its companion star, accretion disk aglow with electromagnetic frenzy, while gravity warps space-time into a funnel of inescapable fate. Yet even here, The strong force holds the infalling matter's nuclei intact until the singularities crush, and weak interactions flicker in the plasma's heat, releasing X-rays that distant telescopes capture like echoes from another world. Nebulae drift like dream veils, places where gas glows with electromagnetic fire, birthing stars under gravity's call. The Eagle Nebula's pillars of creation, towering columns of interstellar dust, illustrate this. Erosion by stellar winds, sculpted by forces in harmony, reveals fledgling stars peeking through. Expand this scene to the Carina Nebula, a turbulent realm 7,500 light-years distant, where massive stars sculpt elephant trunks of gas, their ultraviolet light, electromagnetism's sharp edge, ionizing hydrogen into a rosy haze, while gravity pulls denser clumps into protostellar disks, the strong force already at work in their warming cores. These nurseries pulse with potential, much like the quiet growth of seeds in spring soil, nurtured by unseen energies until they burst into full form. Journey to the Helix Nebula, a planetary nebula resembling a cosmic eye, where a dying star sheds its envelope, the ejected gas illuminated by central ultraviolet glow. Weak decays in the star's remnants, contributing to its fading heat. A poignant cycle where gravity contracts the core into a white dwarf, forever dimming, yet enduring. Reflection nebulae, like those around the Pleiades cluster, scatter blue light softly from surrounding dust. Electromagnetism diffusing stellar brilliance into a hazy veil, while gravitational clustering keeps the young stars loosely bound, their paths diverging slowly over eons. These luminous shrouds evoke the way morning mist softens the sunrise, a transitional beauty that bridges night and day, inviting a pause in the rush of existence to savor the interplay of light and shadow. Emission nebulae, such as the Lagoon Nebula, shimmer with hydrogen alpha lines, where ultraviolet photons excite atoms into glowing recombinations, a cycle of ionization and return that electromagnetism orchestrates. Gravity confining the gas to foster ongoing creation, much like the ebb and flow of inspiration in creative minds, where sparks ignite and fade in rhythmic harmony, building layers of meaning in the quiet pursuit of expression. Supernova remnants like the Veil Nebula, tattered sheets from a long-ago explosion, glow faintly in ionized filaments, electromagnetism sustaining the plasma's shimmer as gravity disperses the debris into the galactic plane. Weak forces in cooling isotopes adding subtle heat, a lingering whisper of cataclysm that seeds future stars. Philosophical in its portrayal of destruction yielding fertility, akin to how autumn's fall prepares the earth for winter's rest and spring's rebirth. A natural rhythm that consoles the observer with promises of continuity. Herbig-Haro objects, glowing knots where jets from young stars collide with surrounding gas, showcase electromagnetic excitation in shocked regions, gravity guiding the outflows from protostellar disks, a dynamic interplay that clears paths for planetary formation, much like youthful explorations that disrupt yet define one's trajectory, leading to mature stability in life's later chapters, a gentle progression toward inner peace. Propleids in the Orion Nebula, silhouetted protoplanetary disks illuminated by nearby massive stars, endure electromagnetic erosion while gravity preserves their structure. Weak processes in the central protostars initiating fusion's first sparks. A resilient infancy that hints at world's origins, evocative of childhood's vulnerabilities tempered by protective forces, fostering growth into self-assured adulthood amid the night's nurturing quiet. Young stellar objects embedded in dense cores, like those in the W3 complex, exhibit electromagnetic outflows that carve cavities in their natal clouds, strong force bindings in accreting material fueling the central ignition, a preparatory phase that philosophizes on the labor of emergence, much like the internal struggles preceding personal breakthroughs, where effort yields to effortless flow in the serene progression of self-realization. Few Orionis stars, eruptive young objects with sudden luminosity spikes from disk instabilities, channel electromagnetic outbursts that heat surrounding dust, gravity stabilizing the episodic accretion, a volatile youth that mirrors adolescent growth spurts, philosophical in suggesting that bursts of energy refine potential, leading to steadier, more luminous maturity in the quiet unfolding of cosmic and personal timelines. T-Tauri stars, pre-main sequence companions to these eruptive ones, exhibit electromagnetic variability from rotating spots and flares, their gravitational contraction driving lithium burning via weak processes in convective zones, a transitional phase that evokes the awkward yet promising stretches of early adulthood, where inconsistencies pave the way for consistent self-expression in the calm rhythm of growth. Class C protostars, enveloped in thick, infalling envelopes, emit strong infrared signatures from heated dust, electromagnetism tracing the accretion luminosity while gravity funnels material inward. Weak force hints in isotopic lines suggesting early enrichment, a cocooned infancy that philosophizes on sheltered development, much like formative years buffered by guidance, allowing potential to mature in unpressured serenity before emerging into fuller light. Embedded clusters around massive protostars, such as in the Rosette Nebula, foster sequential ignitions where strong nuclear thresholds vary, electromagnetic feedback from outflows regulating the pace, a communal birthing that mirrors collaborative endeavors in life, where shared momentum builds collective achievements, yielding a harmonious interdependence that soothes like synchronized breaths in quiet companionship. Pre-brown dwarf companions, low-mass objects on the stellar boundary, sustain faint glows through gravitational settling and residual weak heating, their electromagnetic spectra revealing methane absorption, a marginal existence that evokes peripheral roles in social webs where subtle contributions add depth without centrality, fostering inclusive tranquility in the broader tapestry of connections. Outflow cavities in molecular clouds, carved by bipolar jets from embedded sources, illuminate with shocked emission lines tied to electromagnetic excitations, gravity confining the expansion, a sculptural venting that suggests release as renewal, akin to how expressing pent-up emotions clears space for inner peace, guiding the soul toward restorative calm in the night's gentle progression. Disk winds from young stellar objects, launched by magnetocentrifugal forces, carry away angular momentum to allow continued infall, electromagnetism threading the flow with helical structures, a balancing act that philosophizes on equilibrium through dispersion, much like diffusing daily stresses to maintain focus, a subtle mechanism that promotes sustained harmony as repose envelops the weary form. Time itself, that elusive river, flows under their influence. In the universe's expansion, driven by dark energy yet tempered by gravity, 13.8 billion years have unfolded. Matter, from quarks bound by the strong force to vast clusters, persists because these forces prevent dissolution. Infinity stretches ahead, a canvas of potential where galaxies recede like sighs into the horizon. Ponder the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, a uniform whisper of radiation cooled by expansion, where electromagnetic echoes reveal the universe's infant turbulence. Density ripples amplified by gravity into the seeds of today's structures. This relic light, stretched to microwaves over 380,000 years of cosmic infancy, carries imprints of weak force asymmetries in the early plasma, subtle variations that allowed matter to clump rather than remain a smooth soup. As the universe aged, these seeds grew into the first galaxies, irregular blobs coalescing around dark matter cores, their quasar hearts flaring with electromagnetic brilliance, weak processes in supermassive black holes regulating gas inflows to prevent runaway growth. Today, in clusters like the Coma cluster, hot intracluster gas, plasma heated to millions of degrees by gravitational infall, emits X-rays via atomic transitions tied to nuclear bindings, while weak neutrino backgrounds from ancient stars add a ghostly undercurrent to the cosmic symphony. Rionization era, around 400 million years after the Big Bang, saw first stars' ultraviolet light, electromagnetism at work, stripping electrons from neutral hydrogen, clearing the fog for light to travel freely. A pivotal shift where gravity's gathered masses ignited the glow that now reaches us. This transformation mirrors the way dawn breaks through lingering darkness, a gradual unveiling that sets the stage for vibrant life. Philosophical in its suggestion that even profound changes arise from accumulated small acts, much like how incremental reflections lead to profound personal insights during quiet evenings. Baryon acoustic oscillations, frozen imprints in the cosmic microwave background, trace sound waves from the early universe's plasma, where electromagnetic pressure pushed against gravity's pull, creating spherical shells of density that evolved into today's galaxy distributions. A harmonic resonance that echoes like the faint toll of a distant bell, reminding us of origins in the present structure. In the Lyman alpha forest, absorption lines in quasar spectra from intervening gas clouds, weak force effects on hydrogen isotopes subtly alter these patterns, mapping the web's filaments with precision, a spectral archive that unveils the universe's growth, akin to reading the rings of an ancient tree to discern seasons past, offering a contemplative bridge between then and now, easing the mind into timeless contemplation. Cosmic void's expansion, accelerating under dark energy, dilutes matter within them. Yet gravitational wells at their edges capture wandering galaxies, weak interactions in the tenuous gas fostering rare molecular clouds, a sparse realm where electromagnetism's faint glows from distant quasars provide the only illumination, evoking the vast solitudes of human introspection, where emptiness allows profound questions to surface gently, much like the quiet spaces in meditation that birth clarity, guiding toward a restful dissolution of boundaries. Sunyaev-Zeldovich effect, where cosmic microwave background photons scatter off hot cluster gas electrons via inverse Compton, imprints pressure profiles that reveal mass distributions through gravitational lensing cross-correlations, a multi-force interplay that maps evolution, much like how sensory experiences layer to form holistic perceptions, enriching understanding in subtle, interconnected ways that promote serene acceptance of the larger picture. Silk damping, a diffusion process in the early plasma, where random walks of photons smooth out small-scale fluctuations, limits structure formation on fine grains, preserving the cosmic web's large-scale harmony, a gentle blurring that ensures balanced growth. Philosophical in suggesting that not all details need sharpness for the whole to thrive, akin to how life's minor uncertainties foster adaptability, leading to a more fluid, peaceful navigation through time's currents. Thomson's scattering in the post-recombination era, where lingering free electrons briefly interact with photons before full neutrality, imprints a subtle damping tail on the cosmic microwave background's power spectrum, refining our view of the universe's initial conditions, a faint echo that underscores the weak force's early role in electron-proton recombinations, much like the soft afterimages of a sunset lingering on the retina, blending day's vibrancy into night's contemplative hush. Sachs-Wolf Plateau in the cosmic microwave background, arising from gravitational redshift of primordial photons climbing out of potential wells, captures the universe's initial curvature smoothed by inflation, a foundational whisper where gravity's early dominance sets the stage for all subsequent structure, philosophical in evoking the quiet imprints of beginnings that echo through eternity, much like childhood echoes shaping adult poise, a subtle legacy that invites reflective gratitude in the hush of repose. Doppler boosting in the cosmic microwave background's dipole anisotropy, a gentle tilt from our motion relative to the rest frame, subtly modulates the relic radiation's temperature, a kinematic whisper that ties local galactic drift to universal origins, much like how personal momentum carries echoes of past journeys into present stillness, fostering a sense of harmonious motion within the larger calm. Integrated Sachs-Wolf effect variations across cosmic voids, where late-time acceleration alters photon energies, provide probes of dark energy's equation of state, a temporal modulation that philosophizes on change's pervasive touch, akin to how evolving perspectives color memories, softening past sharpness into wiser, more fluid recollections that ease the transition to dreamlike serenity. Primordial non-Gaussianities, subtle deviations in density field statistics imprinted during inflation, influence early structure seeds through gravitational amplification. Weak force roles in reheating asymmetries, adding faint imprints, a nuanced irregularity that suggests the universe's creative flair, much like artistic imperfections that lend authenticity to works, inviting deeper emotional resonance in the quiet appreciation of beauty. Cosmic infrared background, a diffuse glow from unresolved galaxies and dust, carries electromagnetic traces of star formation history, intertwined with gravitational clustering evolution, a lingering warmth that evokes the accumulated glow of lived experiences, their subtle radiance sustaining inner light through reflective nights. 21 Scientific cosmology, mapping neutral hydrogen absorption during cosmic dawn, reveals electromagnetic line transitions influenced by weak hyperfine splittings, gravity shaping the signal's large-scale patterns, a faint echo from Ryanization's edge that philosophizes on hidden epochs, much like forgotten chapters of personal history resurfacing to inform present wisdom, fostering a contemplative continuity in the flow toward rest. B-mode polarization in the cosmic microwave background, potential signatures of primordial gravitational waves from inflation, would confirm quantum origins of structure, electromagnetism polarizing the relic light through scattering, a spiral whisper that underscores cosmic birth's vibrancy, akin to the subtle currents in a calm river hinting at distant sources, guiding the observer toward a profound sense of origin's gentle persistence. Epoch of reionization fluctuations, patchy progress tracked by quasar proximity zones, blend electromagnetic ionizing fronts with gravitational overdensities, weak force legacies in helium recombination, adding spectral details, a mosaic of light's conquest that mirrors gradual awakenings in consciousness, where illumination spreads unevenly yet inexorably, yielding clearer visions in the serene aftermath of transformation. Dark Age's signal, the quiet prelude before first stars, promises 21 infinitum absorption against the cosmic microwave background, probing early magnetic fields via electromagnetic Zeeman effects and gravitational redshift. A hushed interlude that evokes pre-dawn stillness, where anticipation builds without clamor, inviting a meditative poise as the universe and the self prepares for light's return. Yet in this expanse, philosophy blooms. The universe, sustained by these four, invites wonder. Is it a grand dream, breathing with electromagnetic light? Or an ocean of time, where weak forces whisper of change? As planets wheel and stars pulse, they echo the infinity within us, endless yet intimately connected. Drift with the exoplanets orbiting in distant systems, like those in the TRAPPIST-1 chain. 7 rocky worlds huddling around a cool red dwarf, their atmospheres potentially laced with water vapor sustained by balanced forces. Gravity keeping them in tidally locked orbits, electromagnetism filtering the stars' dim glow to warm hidden oceans. Life there, if it stirs, might gaze at twin suns rising eternally on one horizon, a perpetual twilight fostering bioluminescent seas, all underpinned by the nuclear heartbeats of their host. Venture to hot Jupiters, gas giants scorching close to their stars, their atmospheres bloated by electromagnetic-driven evaporation, tails of sodium and potassium streaming away like comet whispers, gravity ensuring they remain bound despite the blaze. In habitable zones of sun-like stars, Earth twins could harbor plate tectonics driven by core heat from weak decays, magnetic fields generated by dynamo effects to ward off stellar winds. A delicate equilibrium where these forces conspire for worlds ripe with possibility. Super-Earths, denser than our own, might boast silicate mantles rich in elements from ancient supernovae, their surfaces etched by electromagnetic storms under thick atmospheres, gravity compressing atmospheres to create greenhouse paradises or infernos, a spectrum of outcomes that ponders the fine-tuning of existence, akin to how small choices in life branch into varied paths, each offering unique vistas of experience. Rogue exoplanets, untethered from stars, could sustain subsurface oceans warmed by tidal heating from internal gravitational tugs or weak radioactive glow, isolated yet resilient, evoking solitary journeys that nurture inner worlds, where the quiet self-discovery rivals the clamor of crowded orbits. Ice giants like Neptune, with diamond rains forming under immense pressure, showcase strong force stability in carbon lattices, electromagnetic auroras from its tilted magnetic field, dancing in ultraviolet splendor, gravity maintaining a serene orbit amid solar system chaos, a distant sentinel that inspires awe in its composed isolation, much like a lone lighthouse enduring storms, its beam a steady guide through the night's uncertainties. In multi-planet systems like Kepler-11, resonant orbits locked by gravitational harmonies create stable chains, electromagnetic interactions in their atmospheres potentially hosting exotic weather. Weak processes in rocky cores, driving volcanism that renews surfaces, a symphony of worlds in concert, philosophical in suggesting that harmony arises from tuned differences. much like voices in a choir blending to create transcendent unity, soothing the listener into reflective peace. Circumbinary planets, orbiting pairs of stars like those in Kepler-16, navigate dual gravitational pulls with poised elegance, their disks warped by electromagnetic influences from stellar winds. A dual-lit existence that hints at adaptive life forms thriving in variable day-night cycles, much like individuals who flourish amid dual influences, drawing strength from contrasting perspectives to forge a balanced inner landscape, a gentle evolution that mirrors the soul's journey toward harmonious repose. Lava worlds, scorching exoplanets with molten surfaces from tidal locking's perpetual heat, exhibit electromagnetic glows from ionized rock vapors, gravity fueling volcanic resurgences, weak decays in metallic cores, adding internal drive, a hellish yet dynamic habitat that challenges notions of habitability. Philosophical in prompting reflection on resilience in extremes, akin to enduring hardships that temper character, emerging with deeper fortitude and a profound appreciation for calm's embrace. Mini-Neptunes, puffy worlds with hydrogen envelopes, migrate inward via disk interactions, their atmospheres sculpted by electromagnetic stellar irradiation, strong nuclear processes in rocky cores providing structural integrity, a migratory grace that evokes life's relocations seeking better alignments, where challenges refine purpose, leading to settled introspective havens under the cosmic canopy. Eyeball planets, tidally locked worlds with a day-side scorched and night-side frozen, might harbor liquid water rings around the terminator zone, electromagnetism balancing heat distribution, gravity stabilizing the orbital lock, weak force contributions in atmospheric chemistry, fostering potential biospheres. A zoned existence that philosophizes on life's adaptability to gradients, much like finding equilibrium in life's polarities, where contrasts birth nuanced growth in the quiet balance of being. High-Qian worlds, ocean-covered exoplanets with hydrogen-rich atmospheres, could maintain liquid surfaces through gravitational compression and electromagnetic greenhouse effects. Weak decays in rocky interiors providing geothermal vitality. A submerged serenity that evokes underwater dreams. Philosophical in suggesting hidden depths, harbor life's most resilient forms, much like the subconscious realms where true renewal brews in uncharted waters. Desert worlds, arid exoplanets stripped of volatiles by intense stellar radiation, rely on gravitational retention of thin atmospheres laced with electromagnetic charged dust storms, nuclear stabilities in subsurface ices preserving potential for rare oases, a stark endurance that mirrors arid phases in personal aridities, where scarcity hones appreciation for fleeting moisture, leading to a deeper, more contemplative harmony with one's environment. Water worlds, enveloped in global oceans hundreds of kilometers deep, might cycle water through gravitational tides and electromagnetic-driven evaporation. Weak force heat from thorium decays sustaining hydrothermal vents. A fluid existence that philosophizes on immersion's lessons, akin to diving into emotional depths for clarity, emerging with a refreshed perspective that eases into tranquil self-acceptance. Venusian twins, runaway greenhouse exoplanets with thick CO2 atmospheres, showcase electromagnetic scattering in hazy upper layers, gravity trapping heat in surface infernos, while weak processes in core remnants add subtle internal warmth, a veiled intensity that evokes suppressed emotions surfacing gradually, their release fostering balanced calm in the reflective quiet of resolution. Temperate sub-Neptunes, with balanced irradiation allowing stratospheric hazes, blend electromagnetic chemistry in hydrogen-methane mixes, gravitational equilibrium preventing atmospheric loss. A poised mediocrity that suggests virtue in moderation, much like lives led without extremes, where steady rhythms cultivate enduring peace amid cosmic diversity. Orphan planets in young clusters, recently formed yet unbound, drift with residual heat from contraction and nuclear glow, their potential magnetic fields shielding nascent atmospheres, a nascent solitude that mirrors early independence in life, where self-reliance builds quiet confidence, guiding toward integrated serenity under the vast night sky. Ejected super-Earths from unstable multi-planet systems, hurled into interstellar space by gravitational perturbations, may retain subsurface volatiles warmed by weak radiogenic sources. Electromagnetism faint in their cold exteriors, a wandering resilience that philosophizes on adaptation's quiet power, akin to personal upheavals, leading to unforeseen strengths, forging paths of introspective fulfillment in isolation's embrace. The silence of space, profound and enveloping, resembles the hush before sleep, broken only by the occasional flare or gravitational wave ripple from merging black holes, detected by instruments like LIGO as space-time's soft trembles. These waves, ripples in gravity's pond, travel at light speed, carrying tales of cataclysmic unions billions of light-years away, where two black holes spiral inward, their dance accelerating until a final plunge releases energy equivalent to the mass of several suns, all without light, just pure gravitational song. In the intergalactic medium, sparse atoms wander, bound loosely by electromagnetic ties, awaiting gravity's next gathering, while the weak force ensures a slow simmer of cosmic rays, high-energy protons zipping through the void like nomadic thoughts. Gravitational waves from neutron star mergers, like the one in 2017 that lit up the sky with kilonova glow, showcase the quartet's fusion. Strong forces in the collision's debris, forging rare elements like strontium, electromagnetism in the fading light, weak decays stabilizing the output, and gravity in the inspiral's final chirp. These events, rare jewels in the cosmic night, remind us of interconnected fates, much like how distant friendships sustain through occasional, meaningful exchanges, their echoes lingering in memory's quiet spaces. Fast radio bursts, enigmatic millisecond pulses from distant galaxies, may arise from magnetar flares or neutron star collisions, their electromagnetic signatures carrying clues to extreme environments where forces interplay in bursts of revelation. A cosmic Morse code inviting interpretation, similar to how sudden epiphanies pierce the veil of routine, illuminating paths forward in the journey toward rest. Supermassive black hole binaries in merging galaxies produce low-frequency gravitational waves, detectable by future space-based observatories like LISA. Their slow in-spiral a centuries-long serenade warped by gravity, with electromagnetic counterparts in radio emissions from surrounding gas. Weak processes in the disks contributing to variable brightness, a prolonged dialogue that spans cosmic timescales, evoking the patient unfolding of wisdom in a lifetime's reflections, where each moment builds toward deeper understanding, cradling the soul in anticipatory calm. Gamma-ray bursts from collapsing massive stars, brief yet intense electromagnetic explosions, propel jets where strong forces in the core's rebound drive the outflow, weak interactions seeding the prompt emission, Gravity channeling the energy into relativistic speeds. These cosmic fireworks lighting up the early universe, much like fleeting inspirations that ignite profound shifts. Their brevity amplifying impact in the grand narrative of existence. A reminder that even short-lived phenomena contribute to enduring legacies, soothing in their assurance of meaningful transience. Intermediate mass black holes, potentially forming from globular cluster mergers, seed supermassive ones in galactic centers, their growth fueled by gravitational captures and electromagnetic accretion. Weak forces in surrounding gas influencing infall rates, a stepwise evolution that bridges stellar and galactic scales. Philosophical in depicting incremental ascents to grandeur, much like personal ambitions, realized through steady, unassuming steps, culminating in a sense of fulfilled serenity. Primordial black holes, hypothetical relics from the early universe's density fluctuations, could dot the cosmos as dark matter candidates, their evaporation via Hawking processes, tied to weak quantum effects, potentially detectable as gamma-ray spikes, a subtle presence that weaves gravity's infancy into ongoing mysteries, akin to latent potentials in the human psyche that surface unexpectedly, enriching the inner landscape with fresh perspectives during contemplative lulls. Eccentric black hole mergers, arising from dynamical encounters in dense clusters, produce gravitational wave signals with distinctive chirps, revealing orbital histories shaped by repeated gravitational slingshots, electromagnetic afterglows faint but telling of surrounding debris. A narrative of chaotic origins resolving into unity, much like life's tumultuous paths converging on moments of clarity, where disorder yields to ordered insight in the hush of reflection. Stochastic gravitational wave backgrounds, a hum from countless unresolved mergers across cosmic history, promise to unveil the universe's merger rate evolution. Gravity's pervasive ripples intertwined with electromagnetic multi-messenger signals, a foundational undercurrent that philosophizes on the accumulated weight of unseen events, much like the subtle influences of past experiences shaping present calm, weaving a tapestry of quiet continuity. Continuous gravitational waves from asymmetric neutron stars, spinning imperfections generating persistent signals detectable by pulsar timing arrays, hint at crustal deformations sustained by strong nuclear pressures, weak force decays in the interior adding subtle asymmetries, a steady cosmic hum that evokes the persistent undercurrents of habit in daily life. Their reliability, a comforting thread in the fabric of routine leading to inner peace. Supermassive black hole shadows, imaged by the Event Horizon Telescope like M87s, reveal gravity's silhouette against electromagnetic backglow, weak processes in the surrounding plasma contributing to turbulent flows. A dark heart encircled by light that philosophizes on void's paradoxical fullness, much like personal shadows defining one's light, their integration yielding holistic serenity in reflective solitude. Tidal disruption events, where stars shredded by black hole tides emit electromagnetic flares, showcase strong force preservation of fragments until spaghettification. Gravity dictating the orbital plunge, a dramatic unraveling that mirrors life's disruptive passages, where fragmentation precedes reformed wholeness, guiding toward resilient calm in the aftermath's quiet. Quasar microlensing, where stellar lenses in foreground galaxies magnify background quasar emission, probes accretion disk structures through electromagnetic variability, gravitational deflections revealing scale heights, a fleeting magnification that suggests hidden details in the familiar, akin to how crises illuminate inner strengths, fostering deeper self-awareness in the serene progression of healing. Binary neutron star post-merger remnants, potentially forming hypermassive stars before collapse, pulse with electromagnetic afterglows modulated by weak-driven magnetar spins, gravity stabilizing the transient object, a brief stability that evokes temporary respites in turmoil, where poise allows integration of experiences, leading to enduring equilibrium under night's protective gaze. Gravitational wave memory effects, permanent space-time displacements from passing waves, accumulate from cosmic events like black hole mergers, a lingering imprint of gravity's passage intertwined with electromagnetic counterparts, philosophical in depicting indelible marks on the fabric of being, much like transformative encounters that subtly alter one's trajectory, weaving lasting depth into the soul's quiet narrative. Nanohertz gravitational waves from supermassive black hole binaries, detected via pulsar timing, carry low-frequency whispers of galactic mergers, their chirps echoing strong force stabilities in circumbinary disks, a slow cosmic pulse that mirrors the deliberate rhythm of aging gracefully, where accumulated wisdom resonates softly, inviting contemplative repose as time's river flows onward. Exotic, compact objects, hypothetical alternatives to black holes like gravastars, might mimic event horizons through layered gravitational shells. Electromagnetic emissions from surfaces revealing deviations, weak nuclear rolls in exotic matter states, a speculative smoothness that philosophizes on alternative realities, akin to varied paths to fulfillment, each offering unique tranquility in the vast landscape of possibility. Drift now with the nebulae, soft clouds where hydrogen atoms, glued by nuclear bonds, await gravity's nudge. Feel the pull toward rest as black holes cradle secrets in their depths, time bending like a lullaby's curve. Venture to the heart of quasars, those blazing cores of distant galaxies powered by supermassive black holes feeding voraciously, their accretion disks superheating gas to emit light across the spectrum, outshining entire galaxies, a testament to electromagnetism's fury, tempered by gravity's unyielding grip. Billions of years ago, when the universe was young, these beacons pierced the dark ages, ionizing gas to allow star formation's resurgence. Their jets, collimated by magnetic fields, stretching millions of light-years, seeding heavy elements far and wide through weak and strong interactions in the plasma. In active galactic nuclei like Centaurus A, radio lobes billow from these jets, vast bubbles inflating against the intergalactic medium, weak processes in the relativistic particles contributing to synchrotron radiation that paints the sky in low-frequency glows. This dynamism, viewed from afar, evokes the slow build of a symphony's crescendo, resolving into harmony, a metaphor for how personal challenges resolve in the broader flow of life, leading to deeper calm. Protoplanetary nebulae, transitional phases for evolving stars, showcase layered shells where dust grains align with magnetic fields, polarizing light in intricate patterns, gravity compressing the outflow into bipolar shapes like the Eskimo Nebula, a sculptural farewell that hints at the weak force's role in the central star's final nucleosynthesis. These fleeting forms, lasting mere thousands of years, underscore the transient beauty within endurance, much like the brief bloom of night flowers under moonlight, their fragrance a quiet gift before fading into the soil's memory. Dark nebulae, such as the horsehead's silhouette against glowing backdrops, absorb light with dense dust, gravity holding their irregular shapes against dispersal. Strong forces in molecular bindings preserving complex organics, a shadowy contrast that highlights the universe's dual aspects of revelation and mystery, akin to the interplay of light and dark in a dreamscape, where unknowns invite exploration without urgency, fostering a meditative acceptance as sleep draws near. Molecular clouds like the Taurus complex, vast reservoirs of cold gas where gravity initiates collapse amid electromagnetic shielding from cosmic rays, harbor organic molecules bound by strong interactions, weak decays in trace radioactives, warming the cores subtly. These cradles of complexity suggesting chemistry's prelude to life, much like the quiet incubation of ideas in the subconscious, where disparate elements coalesce into innovative forms, a process that nurtures creativity in the serene interlude before dawn's awakening. Bok globules, compact dark clouds on the verge of star formation, resist external radiation through dense bindings, gravity overcoming internal pressures to ignite cores, a poised threshold that embodies potential's hush. Philosophical in mirroring moments of anticipation in life, where stillness precedes action, inviting a deep, anticipatory calm that eases into profound rest. Infrared dark clouds, cooler and more massive than Bok globules, serve as birthplaces for high-mass stars, their internal structures revealed by electromagnetic mapping in sub-millimeter waves, strong force stabilities in embedded clusters ensuring sequential ignition, a methodical genesis that evokes the layered unfolding of personal development, where foundational elements build toward expansive realizations in the hush of self-reflection. Filamentary structures in giant molecular clouds, like those in the Pipe Nebula, thread gravity's gentle pulls through magnetic fields, electromagnetism aligning dust grains to trace field lines, weak force effects in isotopic ratios indicating evolutionary stages, a web-like prelude to clustered starbirth that philosophizes on interconnected origins, much like neural pathways forming in the mind, linking isolated thoughts into coherent narratives of understanding and peace. Triggered star formation in cloud shells, where supernova shocks compress gas layers into new cores, leverages gravity's response to electromagnetic ionizing fronts, strong bindings in the enriched material accelerating collapse, a chain reaction that mirrors inspirational chains in creative processes, where one spark ignites a cascade of innovation, ultimately settling into a harmonious, reflective equilibrium. Reflection-dominated nebulae like NGC 7023, the Iris Nebula, softly diffuse starlight through circumstellar dust, electromagnetism scattering photons in a blue-tinged veil around a young embedded star, gravity holding the transient envelope before dispersal, a gentle diffusion that evokes the way soft memories diffuse through time, their light lingering to illuminate paths without sharp edges, fostering a nostalgic calm in the progression toward rest. Dark molecular filaments, such as those in the Taurus-Perseus complex, weave gravity's threads with electromagnetic support from cosmic ray ionization, weak force-driven deuteration enhancing cooling, a skeletal framework for hub filament systems that suggests cosmic architecture's organic flow, much like the branching veins in leaves channeling sustenance, a natural design that promotes balanced growth in serene, unforced progression. Cometary globules in IC 1396, tadpole-shaped clouds with evaporating heads under massive star radiation, maintain cores via gravitational cohesion against electromagnetic photoevaporation, a retreating resilience that mirrors defensive postures in life's adversities, where core values preserve essence amid external erosion, leading to adaptive poise in the quiet aftermath. Elephant trunks in the pillars of creation's kin, sculpted by ionizing winds, harbor embedded protostars where strong force ignitions counter dispersal, a tenacious form that philosophizes on endurance's artistry, akin to how personal trials carve distinctive characters, their shapes a testament to resilient beauty under the contemplative night. Bipolar outflows in high-mass star-forming regions like W49N, propelled by magnetocentrifugal launching, carve electromagnetic excited cavities through dense gas. Gravity anchoring the central engine, a directional release that evokes focused pursuits, channeling energy outward, yielding expansive clarity in the serene expansion of horizons. Shadowing effects in irregular nebulae, where dense clumps block radiation to foster shielded star formation. Blend gravitational clumping with electromagnetic attenuation. Weak isotopic signals tracing material flows. A patterned protection that suggests strategic pauses in momentum, much like reflective breaks in activity that nurture deeper insights, fostering a rhythmic calm in the universe's creative dance. Pre-stellar cores in Ophiuchus, on the brink of collapse, exhibit weak force heating from short-lived radionuclides, electromagnetism in sub-millimeter emissions revealing rotation, a suspended potential that mirrors poised decisions in life, where readiness builds without rush, inviting a meditative anticipation as the threshold to action and rest nears. Fragmentation in turbulent clouds, where gravitational instabilities spawn multiple cores from single filaments, interplay with electromagnetic turbulence, strong force diversities in initial mass functions, a multiplicative genesis that philosophizes on proliferation's gifts, akin to branching interests enriching personal worlds, weaving a tapestry of varied fulfillments in tranquil multiplicity. In the grand filigree of the cosmic web, superclusters like the Laniakea, our home, spanning 500 million light-years, emerge from gravity's patient threading, with voids in between echoing the universe's breath, expansive and serene. Matter's distribution, from the largest walls to the smallest dust grains, persists through these forces' symphony, ensuring infinity feels not overwhelming, but welcoming, like an open sky inviting stargazing on a clear night. As stars age into red giants, swelling to engulf inner planets, their outer layers shed in planetary nebulae like the Ring Nebula in Lyra, a glowing shell where electromagnetism excites ejected gases into spectral beauty, the remnants collapsing under gravity to form white dwarfs, their cores cooled by weak neutrino escapes. Brown dwarfs, failed stars too small for sustained fusion, wander as cosmic loners, their faint infrared glows sustained by gravitational contraction and residual nuclear heat, electromagnetic atmospheres hiding potential methane clouds. These dim wanderers, numbering in the trillions, fill the gaps between brighter kin, a subtle population that underscores the universe's diversity, much like unsung notes in a melody that enrich the whole without seeking spotlight. Globular clusters, ancient spheres orbiting galaxies like the Milky Way's M13, harbor millions of stars in gravitational confinement, their cores dense with interactions where strong forces in stellar collisions occasionally spark blue stragglers, rejuvenated giants that defy age, while electromagnetic signals from recycled binaries flicker as variable stars, weak processes in their evolving compositions adding rhythmic variability. These stellar societies, relics from the universe's youth, offer a microcosm of collective endurance, akin to enduring communities where individual stories interweave to form a lasting narrative, providing comfort in the vastness of time. Open clusters like the Hyades, loose gatherings of siblings born together, slowly disperse under galactic tides, gravity's hold loosening over millions of years, electromagnetism in their blue-white hues marking youth, a gradual farewell that philosophizes on impermanence within stability, much like family ties that evolve and spread. Their shared origins a quiet anchor amid life's dispersals, soothing the heart with memory's gentle persistence. Ultra-compact clusters in the Milky Way's core, dense with old stars orbiting the central black hole, experience gravitational perturbations that eject some into the halo. Strong nuclear stabilities preserving their compositions as tracers of galactic history, electromagnetic emissions in infrared piercing dust veils, a chaotic yet ordered realm that evokes the bustling undercurrents of a city at dusk, where myriad paths converge and diverge, ultimately leading inhabitants toward personal sanctuaries of rest. Moving groups, like the Beta Pictoris Association, bind young stars in shared space velocities. Gravity's loose tether, allowing expansion, while electromagnetic youth markers, like lithium abundances, reveal ages. Weak force roles in primordial abundances, linking back to Big Bang echoes. A kinship in motion that suggests cosmic family resemblances, much like generational bonds that persist through distance, offering a sense of belonging in the expansive night. Stellar associations, such as the Scorpius-Centaurus complex, span vast regions where gravity loosely associates O and B stars, their electromagnetic winds shaping surrounding bubbles, weak interactions in their rapid evolutions marking short lifespans, a transient gathering that mirrors youthful social circles, their energy infusing the interstellar medium with momentum for future creations, philosophical in highlighting how brief unions leave enduring imprints, fostering a legacy of quiet inspiration. Gould Belt Associations, a ring-like structure slicing through the solar neighborhood, trace recent star formation triggered by supernova shocks, gravity dispersing the young ensembles, while electromagnetism illuminates their blue hues. Weak force legacies in enriched metals signaling explosive origins. A local mosaic that evokes the ripple effects of pivotal events in life, where disruptions seed new beginnings in the calm aftermath of change. OB associations in the Perseus Arm, like the California Nebula's expansive cloud, foster massive star clusters through gravity's collective pull on ionized gas. Electromagnetic H-alpha emissions tracing the feedback loops, strong force enrichments from prior generations enabling diverse stellar masses. A regional tapestry that philosophizes on collaborative creation, much like artistic communities where shared visions amplify individual talents, yielding a collective glow that lingers in memory's quiet glow. R136 cluster in the Tarantula Nebula, a dense OB association harboring the most massive known stars, exemplifies gravity's tight grip on a cauldron of high-energy youth, electromagnetic outflows carving vast ionized regions, while weak force-driven winds strip envelopes, a vigorous cradle that suggests the universe's capacity for concentrated vitality, akin to vibrant social hubs where intense interactions spark innovation, ultimately dispersing into wider, more contemplative networks. Cygnus OB2 association, a massive, complex birthing O-stars that dominate local dynamics. Channels gravitational collapse in turbulent flows with electromagnetic feedback loops. Weak processes in their short lives enriching the region swiftly. A powerhouse of creation that mirrors high-energy phases in careers, where focused intensity yields rapid advancements, resolving into wiser, more balanced reflections in later calm. Trumpler 14 cluster, embedded in the Carina complex, hosts hierarchical structures where subclusters evolve under mutual gravity, electromagnetic winds from Wolf-Rayet stars sculpting the environment, a nested community that philosophizes on layered affiliations, much like nested roles in family and work-weaving support networks, providing multifaceted stability that nurtures inner peace amid multiplicity. NGC 3603, a compact OB cluster in the Milky Way, drives bubble expansion through collective stellar winds, gravity retaining the ionized shell, strong force diversities ensuring varied evolutionary paths, a contained vigor that evokes intensive workshops or retreats, where concentrated efforts forge lasting bonds, leading to expansive tranquility post-immersion. Westerlund 2, one of the densest young clusters, pulses with massive star interactions under tight gravitational bonds, electromagnetic X-ray emissions from collisions revealing dynamics, weak force hints in abundance patterns, an intense fellowship that suggests the rewards of close-knit pursuits, akin to deep friendships tested by proximity, emerging stronger in their quiet, enduring harmony. Archer's cluster near the galactic center withstands tidal stresses from the central black hole, gravity preserving its core density while electromagnetic obscuration veils infrared views. A resilient outpost that philosophizes on perseverance in challenging locales. Much like thriving in demanding environments, builds character, fostering a grounded serenity that anchors the spirit through cosmic or personal turbulences. The infinity of the cosmos unfolds not in chaos, but in sustained elegance. Dark matter, an unseen scaffold aiding gravity, and dark energy accelerating expansion complement the visible forces, ensuring the universe's breath continues, inhaling matter, exhaling light. Reflect on the multiverse hypothesis, where countless bubbles of reality might exist, each governed by similar quartets, branching like dreams from a single mind, the weak force perhaps varying to allow diverse chemistries. Yet, in our pocket of existence, balance prevails, a philosophical ode to simplicity amid complexity, much like how a single candle's flame holds steady in a draught, illuminating the path to quiet repose. In galaxy rotation curves, dark matter's gravitational halo reveals itself as stars orbit faster than visible mass alone would allow, a hidden embrace that prevents galactic unraveling, while dark energies push, manifesting as accelerated recession, stretches the horizon like an ever-deepening breath. Baryonic matter, the everyday stuff of atoms, interacts via all four forces, forming the luminous threads we see. But it's the interplay with the dark components that crafts the full picture, a reminder that much of reality lies in subtle influences, akin to the undercurrents of emotion that shape our days without overt display. As we contemplate the fate of the universe, perhaps a big freeze where expansion dilutes all to cold uniformity, or a cyclic bounce tempered by quantum effects. These forces suggest resilience, their principles potentially eternal, weaving through whatever form infinity takes, offering solace in the thought that endurance is woven into the cosmos's core. Galaxy filaments, those immense threads like the Sloan Great Wall spanning 1 billion light-years, trace dark matter's gravitational scaffolding, with luminous galaxies beading along them like dewdrops on a web. Electromagnetic emissions mapping their distribution, while weak interactions in the sparse gas contribute to slow enrichment over cosmic time. Voids, vast underdensities ballooning under dark energy's influence, host occasional dwarf galaxies adrift, their isolation a counterpoint to clustering, philosophical in evoking the spaces between thoughts where creativity brews, a serene emptiness pregnant with potential. In this grand architecture, the forces collaborate to paint a picture of purposeful vastness, much like the pauses in poetry that amplify the verse, inviting deeper contemplation as the mind settles into tranquil infinity. Integrated Sachs-Wolf effect, where cosmic microwave background photons gain or lose energy crossing evolving potentials in the cosmic web, reveals dark energy's imprint on large scales, gravity's wells shallowing as expansion accelerates, a subtle modulation that ties the early universe to its future, much like how life's early choices resonate through later chapters. Their echoes a quiet guide in navigating uncertainty, fostering a sense of connected continuity that eases into restful acceptance. Self-interacting dark matter models, where particles collide softly, smooth out small-scale structures, allowing galaxies to form with less clumping. A nuanced balance that complements the four forces' visible dance, suggesting hidden dialogues that refine the cosmic order, akin to the internal dialogues that temper our reactions, leading to wiser, more composed states as night envelops the world in its calming veil. Warm dark matter, lighter particles that stream freely, suppress small halos while permitting larger ones, influencing galaxy formation's hierarchy. A thermal whisper that interacts minimally with the quartet, philosophical in hinting at alternative scaffolds for reality, much like varying temperaments shaping personal worlds, each variant a path to unique harmony in the quiet unfolding of existence. Axions, hypothetical dark matter candidates arising from broken symmetries, could convert to photons in magnetic fields, offering electromagnetic detection windows, their weak-scale origins tying back to fundamental forces, a delicate bridge between visible and invisible realms, evocative of how subtle intuitions illuminate hidden truths, guiding the inner voyage toward enlightened repose. Fuzzy dark matter, ultralight bosons, forming wave-like halos, suppress cusp formation in galactic centers, allowing smoother distributions that align with observations, gravity mediating their interference patterns while minimally engaging other forces. A quantum haze that softens cosmic edges, much like the diffuse glow of twilight, blurring horizons, inviting a philosophical ease in accepting blurred boundaries as pathways to deeper, unified understanding. WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles as dark matter contenders, could annihilate into standard model products via weak force channels, producing gamma rays detectable in galactic centers, a speculative interplay that ties the unseen to the quartet, philosophical in pondering the gentle revelations of persistence, akin to how quiet perseverance uncovers inner truths, fostering a serene acceptance of mysteries unresolved. Sterile neutrino dark matter, with masses around keV scales, could form warm halos that suppress small structures while allowing galaxy formation, their production tied to weak force oscillations in the early universe. a subtle variant that evokes the quiet variations in personal resilience, where different inner resources adapt to varying challenges, leading to a balanced, introspective calm amid cosmic vastness. Mirror dark matter, symmetric particles interacting via gravity and a dark photon might form shadow galaxies parallel to ours. Electromagnetic isolation preserving their independence. A dual reality that philosophizes on unseen parallels in life, like alternate choices echoes, inviting wonder at multiplicity's harmonious coexistence without intrusion. Mixed dark matter models, blending cold and warm components, sculpt hierarchical structures with nuanced suppression. Gravity orchestrating the blend, while weak ties to baryons add faint couplings. A composite scaffold that mirrors blended heritages shaping identity, where diverse roots converge in unified strength, promoting a contemplative embrace of complexity's gifts. Ultralight scalar dark matter, oscillating as a coherent field, induces effective forces on galactic scales, subtly perturbing stellar motions. A wavy undercurrent that suggests rhythmic influences beneath stability, akin to underlying moods coloring daily perceptions. A gentle oscillation that fosters adaptive poise in the flow toward restful equilibrium. Dark photons, hypothetical mediators for dark sector interactions, could mix kinetically with ordinary photons, enabling electromagnetic-like signals from dark matter decays, weak force portals bridging realms, a veiled communication that evokes unspoken understandings in relationships, their subtlety deepening bonds in quiet, intuitive ways. Primordial black hole dark matter clusters, forming early mini-halos that seed larger structures, interact gravitationally with baryons while evaporating via quantum processes. A primordial legacy that philosophizes on origins enduring impact. Much like foundational experiences, seeding lifelong patterns. Their quiet persistence a source of reflective strength as night deepens its soothing hold. As your eyelids grow heavy, let these truths settle like stardust on your soul. The four forces, guardians of being, weave the secret. Existence endures through gentle persistence, much like the rhythm of your slowing breath. Galaxies continue their stately waltz. Planets trace elliptic paths in silent obedience, and the fabric of space-time hums with potential, all sustained by this elegant quartet. In the end, the universe's secret is one of quiet interdependence, a cosmic conversation where every element listens and responds, fostering an eternity that feels as comforting as the blanket of night itself. Let this awareness drift with you into dreams, where galaxies might swirl in personal skies, planets hover like familiar companions, and the soft hum of forces becomes the soundtrack to your rest, infinite yet intimately yours. As the narrative of the cosmos lingers, envision yourself as a quiet observer in this eternal dialogue, your own existence a thread in the vast weave, sustained by the same gentle principles that hold the stars aloft, a profound unity that eases the soul into profound, restorative peace. In this boundless harmony, time loses its grip, matter's forms dissolve into pure potential, and infinity reveals itself, not as distance, but as an embrace, wrapping you in the universe's tender vigil, where every breath aligns with the cosmos's quiet pulse, leading seamlessly into the velvet depths of sleep. Here, in the heart of it all, the forces converge into a singular serenity, a philosophical culmination where the observer and observed merge, the self expanding to touch the edges of creation, a final, enveloping calm that dissolves all separation, inviting complete, dream-filled surrender to the night's infinite grace. Within this fusion, the universe's vastness contracts to the intimacy of your own repose, a reciprocal holding where cosmic scales reflect personal quietude, ensuring that as stars maintain their vigil, so too does the gentle assurance of renewal await in every dawn, a cyclical poetry that lulls the spirit into eternal, peaceful communion. As the boundaries blur further, this interdependence extends to the quantum foam at reality's base, where virtual particles flicker in and out, touched by weak and strong whispers, sustaining the vacuum's subtle energy, a foundational murmur that underpins all structure, much like the quiet undercurrents of subconscious thought that nourish waking clarity, weaving an unbroken continuum from the minuscule to the majestic, cradling existence in a perpetual, soothing equilibrium. In this layered reality, the force's symphony echoes through scales, from Planck lengths where quantum gravity hints at unification, to supercluster voids pregnant with dark energy's subtle push, a holistic resonance that philosophizes on wholeness, akin to the way a single melody threads through variations, unifying diversity in harmonious flow, guiding the weary mind toward a dreamscape where all elements cohere in effortless, eternal rest. As this resonance deepens, envision the holographic principle suggesting the universe's information encoded on boundaries, gravity emerging from quantum entanglements, a profound unity where electromagnetism and nuclear forces contribute to the informational weave, much like how personal narratives encode experiences on the mind's horizon, a reflective surface that projects inner vastness outward, inviting a meditative dissolution where self and cosmos interlace in boundless, tranquil oneness. In this holographic grace, the weak force's subtle asymmetries might encode the universe's handedness, a chiral whisper that favors matter's persistence over annihilation, philosophical in mirroring the unique twists of individual lives, where slight inclinations shape destinies toward fulfillment, a gentle asymmetry that cradles diversity within unity, easing the soul into a dream where all perspectives converge in serene, infinite accord. String theory landscapes, vast arrays of possible vacua where force strengths vary, hint at our quartet's fine-tuning as one realization among myriads, gravity's geometric nature unifying with quantum vibrations, a multiversal tapestry that suggests selective emergence, much like evolutionary paths, choosing viable niches, fostering philosophical humility in our cosmic placement, a perspective that soothes with the assurance of purposeful niche amid infinity's expanse. Loop quantum gravity's discrete spacetime, woven from spin networks, quantizes area and volume under gravitational rules, intertwining with nuclear forces at Planck scales, a granular foundation that evokes life's mosaic of moments, each discrete yet connected, building a resilient whole that invites contemplative integration as rest approaches. Asymptotic safety in quantum gravity, where running couplings reach fixed points at high energies, promises renormalizability without new physics. The weak force's electro-weak unification extending to grand scales, a self-consistent evolution that mirrors personal growth's adaptive refinements, where challenges calibrate responses toward balanced maturity, guiding the spirit through life's scales with quiet assurance. Emergent gravity theories, positing the force as thermodynamic entropy gradients, link to electromagnetic blackbody radiation in horizons, strong and weak roles in microstates, a derived elegance that philosophizes on complexity from simplicity, akin to how simple interactions yield profound relationships, their depth unfolding in serene, unhurried communion. Modified Newtonian dynamics, challenging dark matter with altered gravity at low accelerations, fits galactic rotations without unseen mass, yet accommodates cosmic microwave background via relativistic extensions, a minimalist revision that suggests perceptual shifts in understanding, much like reframing personal narratives to reveal hidden harmonies, fostering inner peace through fresh lenses on familiar terrains. Entropic gravity's holographic ties, deriving Newton's law from information bounds, intertwine with quantum field theories of other forces, an informational substrate that underscores reality's narrative essence. Philosophical in evoking life stories as encoded patterns, they're telling a soothing ritual that lulls toward dream-infused repose. Causal dynamical triangulations, building space-time from simplicial manifolds, simulate gravitational emergence at quantum levels, compatible with nuclear symmetries, a computational weave that mirrors mindful construction of habits, layering small choices into stable architectures of being, promoting a rhythmic calm in the progression of days into nights. Twister theory's geometric reformulation of space-time, unifying gravity with quantum amplitudes, hints at deeper symmetries shared with electro-weak processes, a projective harmony that suggests perceptual transformations, reveal unity akin to shifting viewpoints in meditation to uncover interconnectedness, easing the mind into expansive, tranquil oneness. Non-commutative geometry's spectral triples, encoding forces in operator algebras, blend gravity's curvature with strong forces yang mills, an abstract formalism that philosophizes on underlying mathematics as reality's script, much like intuitive senses scripting daily flows, their elegance inviting surrender to the night's mathematical lullaby of stars and silence.